Welcome to week 8 of your Enneagram Devotional Study. And guys, you made it. You made it to the very last week. I hope you guys have enjoyed these devotionals so much that you guys have felt my heart for not only you guys, but for Jesus, and that God has really used these devotionals and the words in them to lead your hearts to still waters and to green pastures, that you guys have felt convicted and encouraged, and I just love that you guys have done this together. So thank you so much for letting me be a teacher in this and to be with you guys on this journey. It's been such an honor, and I am so grateful for you guys doing this. I hope you guys have utilized your leader guide and the FAQ section in the back. If you guys have any more questions, please go to that. You can always message me too on enneagram.life on Instagram too. I will try to answer anything I can for you because I care about you guys, and I want you guys to have the most fulfilling and growing experience through this as you possibly can, to become closer to Jesus, to understand each other, and to ultimately grow as yourself. So thank you guys so much for this. And what a way to end to go through growth, to go through the ultimate, like, how do we grow? What is our growth type? What are the things that we need to actually push into to grow as our Enneagram type? And this is such a cool thing that I don't think I would have fully given myself permission to run towards these certain things if I didn't know about the Enneagram. I would definitely be shaming myself for not being the way I need to be, but I would not be giving myself permission to, like, okay, this is not my autopilot. It's not super naturally accessible to my personality, but I need it. And so I need to push towards this. I need to run towards it. And I don't have any excuses anymore not to. So in that way, this has been super helpful to me personally, and I hope it's really been really helpful for you as well to really name these things. So let's go through each Enneagram type. How do we grow? What is our growth number? What are the areas that we really need to push into that really help our Enneagram type grow? So we'll start with type 1s. Type 1s, when they grow, they go to type 7. So they become more fun, spontaneous, joyful, less criticizing of themselves and others. They can take themselves less seriously. All those sorts of things. All those things are so important in quieting the inner critic and defusing anger. All these issues that Enneagram type 1s can have can really be laid to rest and be tempered in the positives of type 7. For Enneagram type 2s, when they grow, they go towards 4 and they become more emotionally honest and understanding. They can listen and not feel like they need to fix things. They can be space saving with other people, and they can really grow in creativity, which is one of those things that a lot of times creative arts and creative things can feel selfish to type 2s, especially if there's not a big purpose towards it. But indulging in creativity is really something to be really soul healing for a 2. And being very emotionally honest, it can help them not have that pent up anger that tends to volcano when they are in stress. It helps them, when they are more emotionally honest with themselves, to not give in to the temptation of manipulation unknowingly. All those sorts of things can really help type 2s. And for type 3s, when they are growing, they go towards type 6. So they become more loyal and team-oriented. Doesn't have to be all about competition and who's winning here. It can be more group-focused. It can be more, if you're not succeeding, I'm not succeeding, and how can I encourage the people around me? How can I look for areas where I can be devoted and loyal towards something, no matter if they're doing well or not? How can I not be a bandwagon fan in my life? Those type of things are things that really help 3s grow, is this loyalty, this not being as competitive, being more team-oriented, and surprisingly enough, a good dose of healthy fear, which in 3s actually looks a good bit like humility, which can be really helpful for them. And type 4s, when they are growing, they go towards type 1s. So these creative types that have so much potential and so much creative juice, they need organization and discipline, and to think more logically through their problems and not give as much into emotion. And in those ways, they become more effective in the world. When you are a creative type that gives into envy often, you can be paralyzed towards doing anything. But when you are focused and disciplined and organized You can stay in your own lane and you can look at what you are doing and you can pour wholeheartedly into that, especially with discipline, because once passion is gone, discipline is all that remains. So 4s need to really dig into that. For type 5s, when they're growing, they go towards type 8, and this gives them passion and assertiveness and confidence. Type 5s, they can really hoard the knowledge that they glean for themselves, almost thinking that they are never smart enough, they never know enough to actually do anything with it. But when they grow to type 8, it puts the passion behind their knowledge, and it's how it gets into the world. 5s can really be world changers when they go to type 8 and they have passion behind their ideas and they act on them and they change the world. It's really, really cool. For type 6s, when they are growing, they go towards type 9 and they become more easygoing. They become less anxious. They can stop and smell the roses. They can take life more slowly. And in a lot of ways, all of those things lend themselves towards not being as anxious, not dwelling on worst case scenarios, not being suspicious of other people's motives. Like all of these things, taking life slower can give them a chance to really reflect on everything that's going on and respond instead of react in a lot of ways. And then type 7s, when they are growing, they go towards type 5s, and it's this focus, it's this consistency, it's this actually laying firm boundaries, it's this ability to be in solitude in a way that's really healthy, solitude and silence. And for type 7s, they have all this energy. They are just bundles of good ideas. And when they have focus, like, man, it's really cool. They can do some really cool things when they put focus behind their ideas, and they don't have to be scared of being alone or fearing the silence. They can see it as a growth opportunity. All these things are extremely helpful for 7s in growing and in being just effective, just like 4s. All those ideas, all that creativity, having a conduit for it is really cool. For type 8s, they go to type 2 when they're growing, and this looks like becoming a really good listener, having that tenderness that's so deep inside every single 8, being able to wear some of that on the outside and not fearing that people are going to take advantage of you or of that tenderness, being vulnerable, which I know is a really hard word for type 8s. All of those things they glean as they go towards type 2. It's this softening of some rougher edges, but in a way that, like, it's still so strong. Like we talked about 2's boldness, and like and 8s are not going towards weakness. They are going towards this loving strength when they are growing, and it makes them more effective when your strength is caring, when you are thinking about others. People will go to you when they need your strength then. They won't be scared of you being reactive or angry. Like, I know that there are some 8s in my life that I would not tell them if I was in trouble, because I would be afraid they would react in such a way, not caring about themselves or their own future, in a way that might ruin their future. And in that way, they can't reflect the strength that God has given them in their life. And with growing to 2, having that more, I'm going to listen to the whole story and I'm going to sit here and care for you in a way that actually is serving to everyone, is huge for type 8s. It makes them be able to reflect God all the more in that. For type 9s, when they are growing, they go towards type 3, and how that looks is this confidence, this leadership ability, is this encouragement, all of these things. When type 9s get into a leadership space, we see this magic that happens because they are such humble leaders, and humble leaders are just amazing, wonderful, God-given leaders, and it's just this sweet spot. And when 9s are in leadership, a lot of the times they will feel encouraged, they will feel this wholeness, they will feel closer to God, they will have more confidence, they can be more assertive in their life, they can pursue their dreams, they can be who God wants them to be and not have to fear the conflict. They can have courage and they can have confidence in their decisions and what's going on, and in those ways they can fully name that their presence matters and believe it, which is such a huge thing for type 9s, is how they live fully awake in their lives. And it's how we need type 9s, because type 9s are such a gift to the world, and when they actually believe that, yeah, some really great things can happen. Thank you guys so much for doing this study. I'm going to hand you over to your leader for the last time. I hope you guys might come back, grab some more people, other types. I'm sure going through this with different types is going to, you'll glean so much different insight into the people in your life. And so if you don't feel if you feel sad it's over, grab some more people, do a group again, or go through your wing numbers devotional, go through your growth stress numbers devotional, go through your spouse's devotional. You know, there is no end to the ways that God can use intentional focused growth in your life. And so I hope that you will use these devotionals as an opportunity to dig into that growth, and that in those ways you can practice what you've learned, you can push into it, and you can reap the rewards through the power of Jesus Christ.